You are standing in line with your phone in your hand. You are not looking for anything important. Then a face appears on the screen, smiling from a beach, holding new keys, announcing a promotion, showing a life that looks cleaner than yours. Something tightens in your chest. Why? The easy answer is jealousy, but the real answer is far stranger. Your brain is not just reacting to another person's life, it is running an ancient survival program that began long before money, schools, offices, followers, or social media existed. Every time you compare yourself to someone else, your brain is asking one silent question. Where do you stand? Not emotionally, not spiritually, socially, in the group, in the tribe, in the invisible ranking system human beings carry everywhere. You may think comparison is insecurity. You may think it is weakness. You may think it is something modern life created. But your brain has been measuring people for hundreds of thousands of years because for most of human history, your position among others could decide whether you ate, whether you were protected, whether anyone helped you when you were sick, and whether you survived long enough to have children. So when someone seems ahead of you, your brain does not treat it as harmless information. It treats it like a signal, a warning, a map, a threat. In 1954, psychologist Leon Festinger gave this instinct a name. He called it social comparison theory. The idea was simple. When you cannot measure yourself directly, you measure yourself against other people. If you want to know whether you are smart, successful, attractive, respected, talented, or falling behind, you look sideways. You compare. Not because you are broken, because your brain wants coordinates. It wants a place on the map. But Festinger was describing something much older than classrooms, offices, or the phone in your pocket. Imagine a small band of ancient humans walking across a dry landscape. There are no grades. There are no bank accounts. There are no job titles. But there is still status. Someone is better at finding water. Someone is better at tracking animals. Someone is stronger. Someone is more trusted. Someone is more likely to be heard when danger appears. And everyone notices. Why would they not? In a world without written records, the human mind became the record. It watched who shared food. It watched who was chosen. It watched who was ignored. A brain that failed to track these things was not just socially awkward. It was vulnerable. If you did not know who had influence, you could offend the wrong person. If you did not know who was generous, you could ask help from someone who would turn away. If you did not know where you stood, you could misjudge your safety, so your brain learned to scan. Constantly, quietly, automatically. Who has more? Who is admired? Who is being watched? Who is being left behind? And where are you? This is why comparison can happen before you choose it. You see someone's success, and the feeling arrives first. Your stomach drops. Your mood changes. Only afterward do you explain it to yourself. You call it envy. You call it motivation. You call it being realistic. But underneath the words, an older machine has already moved. Psychologist Abraham Tesser later studied something even more uncomfortable. He called it the self-evaluation maintenance model. In plain English, another person's success can make you feel better or worse depending on how close they are to you and how much their success touches your identity. A stranger winning a piano contest might not bother you. Your best friend winning the same contest when you also care about piano can feel like a small injury. Why does closeness matter? Because the brain treats nearby people as more relevant. A famous athlete across the world may be impressive, but the person sitting next to you is a direct comparison point. They live in your world. They prove what might be possible from a place close to yours. That is why someone similar to you can hurt more than someone far above you. A billionaire's mansion may feel unreal. A former classmate's new house can ruin your afternoon. Is that pettiness? Or is it proximity? Your brain is not comparing you to everyone equally. It is searching for people who make the comparison feel useful. People your age, people from your town, people who started near where you started. Because if they moved ahead, your brain wants to know why. Did they find a better path? Did you miss something? Are you losing ground? This is where comparison becomes painful. It is not only about wanting what another person has. It is about the fear that their progress says something about your own position. Their win becomes your measurement. Their timeline becomes your clock. Their highlight becomes your evidence. And modern life shows you thousands of comparison targets every day. Your ancient brain is drowning in signals it was never built to process. For most of human history, you might have compared yourself to a few dozen people, maybe 100. People you actually knew. People whose lives you could observe in full. Their failures, their grief, their boredom, their ordinary days. Now you compare yourself to carefully selected moments from millions of strangers. You see the meal, not the debt. You see the achievement, not the years of confusion before it. You see the smile, not the silence after the camera turns off. How could your brain not misread that? In the 1970s, psychologist Thomas Wills described downward comparison. That means comparing yourself to someone who seems worse off, so you can feel safer or stronger. Upward comparison is the opposite. You look at someone above you. Sometimes it inspires you. Sometimes it crushes you. The difference depends on whether your brain sees their success as a path or a wall. If it feels reachable, comparison becomes fuel. If it feels unreachable, comparison becomes shame. That is why the same video can motivate one person and ruin another person's day. The information is the same. The meaning is different. Your brain asks, "Can you get there?" If yes, it leans forward. If no, it folds inward. And modern platforms have turned that question into a machine. Every like is a tiny status signal. Every view count is a public scoreboard. Every follower number is a visible tribe size. Every comment section is a miniature court of approval and rejection. You may know these numbers are shallow, but your brain does not process them as shallow. It processes them as rank. It processes them as proof that some people are being chosen while others are being ignored. That is why a number on a screen can change your mood. It should not matter, but it does. Because your brain evolved in a world where attention from others could mean food, protection, mating opportunity, and survival. But comparison is not purely destructive. It is also how humans learn. A child watches an older child tie a knot. A hunter watches a better tracker read footprints. A student watches a skilled speaker hold a room. A creator watches another creator capture attention. Comparison says, pay attention. There may be a pattern here. There may be a skill. There may be a path you can copy. The problem begins when your brain turns every comparison into a verdict on your worth. That is the trap. Information becomes identity. A signal becomes a sentence. Someone else is ahead, so you must be behind. Someone else is praised, so you must be invisible. Someone else is chosen, so you must be unwanted. But that is not what the signal says. It only says someone else is somewhere. It does not say where you can go. It does not say what your life means. It does not say your story is finished. The ancient brain wants quick rankings. Modern life requires slower truth. So the solution is not to pretend you can stop comparing completely. You probably cannot. Comparison is too old, too human, too useful. But you can change what you do after the comparison appears. You can ask a better question, not, are they better than you? Ask, what information is here? Is there a skill to learn? Is there a path to study? Is this a false image? Is this comparison close enough to be useful or distant enough to be noise? Is your brain using one person's highlight as proof against your entire life? That question matters, because the moment you notice the comparison, you are no longer only inside the ancient program. You are watching it run. And when you can watch it, you can choose what it means. This does not make the feeling vanish, but it gives the feeling a new job. It stops being a judge, it becomes a messenger. Maybe that is what your brain was trying to do all along. It was not trying to ruin your happiness. It was trying to keep you oriented. It was trying to show you the map. It was trying to answer the oldest social question in the human mind. Where do you stand? Tonight, you may stand in line again with your phone in your hand. You may see another perfect face, another perfect house, another life moving faster than yours. Something may still tighten in your chest, but now you know what is happening. An ancient brain is looking sideways, searching for your place in the tribe. And the real answer is not that you are falling behind. The real answer is that you are holding a Stone Age ranking system in a world too big for it to measure. You are standing in line with your phone in your hand. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss the next Elastic video coming soon.